Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Hope you guys are able to see me and that we are live. I'm just going to wait a few seconds before I get started to compensate for any lag that may be. As always, let's start off with the S&P 500 futures. They are still within the same pattern that we were talking about yesterday. Despite the rate cut announcement yesterday, we are seeing the futures a little negative this morning. They were much higher earlier, and they went and dipped and got support from this line of support that we have drawn earlier. As you can see, this wick, I hope you can see it in your smaller devices, but at least in the bigger ones it can be seen clearly. I'm just going to expand this a little bit and recalibrate so that you can see the wick. It came all the way to this line of support, which again, it's not a horizontal line of support, it's a dynamic line of support, and we bounced back. So today it's very important for us to see what happens. Are we going to continue with the resistance of 6,859, or is that going to be cleared off? So that's what is the key for today. And if we end up forming a head and shoulder pattern, then the next focus will be on the trigger, which is going to be at around 6,551.25. I'm not saying that the market is going to fall, but as I mentioned in the shorts this morning, the relief from the Fed in terms of quantitative easing is geared towards buying of treasuries, and that means the short-term interest rates can be very well under control. Hi, Hot Dog, thanks for joining. And once that happens, basically it means that mortgage-backed securities are not going to get any support as such. So this is very much tuned towards funding the government using short-term treasuries up to 3 years, I believe, which means that the long-term yields should actually spike up. But this morning I'm seeing that they are not spiking up. Let us just momentarily go to the 10-year. What we are seeing in the 10-year is that it came down below the line of support of 4.16%, which was actually a confirmed support because we closed above that yesterday, but day before. But then yesterday, after the Fed announcement, we fell below, and today we have this doji candle. There is a movement of indecision out here, at least at this point of time. So we'll have to see if we are going to go back up again. This is not a confirmed resistance, so if we come to this, we'll be able to easily break out above. But if we close below 4.13, then this line of resistance gets confirmed, in my opinion, and then it will be difficult. So I'm reevaluating my thoughts about this reverse head and shoulders and the outcome of the Fed announcement. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. It could also be a momentary reassessment going on out here, and then we could see this go up. But similarly, the Japanese 10-year is also coming down. So I'm not sure what is happening out there. So probably my concepts of bonds is wrong. If any of you have any idea what is happening, please share that in the comment section. If you look at the USD JPY, this was the bull flag I was talking about, but again, that is faltering. Instead of going up to 159.97, it's coming down. So I think I have fundamental misunderstanding of the market mechanism. So I'm going to wait and watch what happens. Let's go and see what continues to happen with the indices. We have done the NASDAQ futures. Now we're going to look at we've done the S&P 500 futures. Now we look at the NASDAQ futures. The NASDAQ futures are still in the formation of a head and shoulder pattern, in my opinion. But what happens today is what we need to pay attention to. As I mentioned yesterday, the rate cut was already baked in. So it was going to be going down anyway, whether the rate cut happens. And if the rate cut didn't happen, it would go down much more severely. So I think to that extent, my prediction has been right so far. We are seeing the NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures go down. It had got down, both of them had gone down significantly before bouncing back up. We'll see what happens when the actual traders come into the market, the institutions come into the market, and we'll see what happens at that time. So that's the situation out here. Dollar index is down further. Dollar is showing a lot more weakness. The double top target of 98.156 is well within reach at this point of time, and we continue to look at new patterns being formed out here. So let's see what happens. VIX is up 0.51%, showing the potential for volatility, but we have fallen below the diagonal line of support. This was a dynamic line of support which was today at around 16.73. We fell down below that, and we might end up confirming that as a resistance if we close below 15.65 today. Gold is down 0.25% in pre-market trades, still getting pushed down by this band of resistance, which has held us down multiple times in the past. So the question is today, can we bounce off our diagonal line of support and break through this? So we have another couple of days where we'll be forced to make that decision. And I'm thinking that long-term gold has got to go up because more money is going to be pumped in by the Fed. Wherever they pump in the money, it basically means that there's more dollars in circulation, and gold amounts being being more or less stagnant. I think gold prices should go in the long run. So I would like to buy a little bit of dollar cost averaging out here. At the same time, I'm looking at my year-end situation. I've booked a lot of profits, and I have a lot of unrealized losses, which are almost equivalent to the profits that I have. So I have to decide how much of the losses I'm going to book this year and take it from there. So my disclosure is that I have not been that much better than I had been in the past. The only good thing is that I took all the profits when I could. That's the reason why at this point of time, I'm able to use my accumulated losses to calibrate my taxes. If I had not taken my profits like I used to before, earlier, I never used to book my profits. I used to go for the big bang, and I was always confused about it. And if I was with that kind of attitude, I would be in very steep losses at this point of time. So in a way, I have improved my performance, but I can do better next year. So I'll talk about my learnings and all at a later stage. But I think doing this channel and doing the live stream every morning and refraining from a whole lot of trades the way I used to do earlier has definitely helped me. And I have to thank you guys also for some of the profit opportunities and profitable trades that you showed me. So coming back to the 10-year yield, I think there is an indecision out here, and the way these yields go would also have an impact on what happens to the stock market. Now let's go to our indicators themselves and look at S&P 500. S&P 500 is, I'm not yet sure whether it is forming the head and shoulder, but you can definitely see a curve out here. What happens today is also very important. And I can think that looking at S&P 500 futures, I think that we are going to have an open which is lower than yesterday's close. We are going to open in the red. And if we go down, we are going to get a support at 6,839.71. If we break down below this, then we have a support at 6,796.18. And if we look at NASDAQ, again, the same situation, we could potentially create a second shoulder. Let me just put the shoulders out here. First shoulder, a head, and a potential second shoulder. We have to see if we start making the second shoulder. And for us, this area of resistance also performs the role of a support because we closed above it. So the first support is going to come at 25,717, and the second support is going to come at 25,624.16. So let's see how it goes. QQQ can give us a hint. QQQ is down 0.51% in the morning trades so far, pre-market trades. That means we are going to have a candle which is below this. And the question is, are we going to be able to stay above this narrow band of support I put yesterday that starts at 624.34? And that ends at 623.67. Right now we are at 624.36, just 0.02 above this band of support. So we'll watch that, and I'm going to put shoulder out here, and see how it goes. And the trigger, as always, is going to be where we have the shoulder points. I would call this shoulder points. I think the trigger is somewhere around 585.73. So let's check that out. Then we go on and have a look at AI. NVDA is down 1.42% in pre-market trades. It's still going to get a lot of support at 183.41. But right now, pre-market, we are already at 181.20. So I would say that we have a resistance out here at 181.21. And our support is going to be 180.05. So 183.49 is going to be, let me open this to be precise, 183.53 is going to be the resistance for today, and our support is a dynamic line of support today, which is going to give support at 179.98. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bullish, but momentum has just dropped below average. So let's see how this goes for NVIDIA. Meta is down 0.70% in pre-market trades. Resistance is at 651.87. Let me mark this in red. It is 651.45. That is a resistance, and support is going to be 636.05 today. Let's look at Google. Google is down 0.35% in pre-market trades. We are looking at this bull flag, which we are thinking that we are going to break out of. Yesterday, we broke out of it. But the question is, are we going to be able to confirm above this diagonal line of resistance, which will then become a diagonal line of support? Let me mark this green as support. Pre-market, we are already above this. For today, our support is going to be 318.82. Right now, we are at 319.88. We are down 0.35%. So if we break down below this, we'll be back into the flag. And I think the flag is going to be valid for quite a while. My flag starts, so let me just delete this. Let me start the flag again. I think my flag would start from here and go all the way up here. So we are not yet in the midpoint. If we fall below the midpoint, I would say that the flagpole is invalidated, but Google is still looking strong to me. Amazon is down 0.66% in pre-market trades, and it will get an initial support at around 228.88. Pre-market, it's at 230.24. The next level of support for it would be at 226.69. So there is a lot of support for Amazon, and I would also look at this as a bull flag, which we have broken out of, but we have a topping tail pattern out here, which kind of neutralizes it. So let us see what happens when the market opens. Market sentiment is bearish, MACD is also bearish, momentum is just above average, and that's the reason why I can't be too bullish on Amazon. We are getting mixed signals out here, and remember, Oracle suffered a lot of setback because of the AI bubble concerns re-emerging. That could also have a little bit of impact on Amazon. Apple is up 0.17% in pre-market trades. I'm still waiting for this to develop. Right now, it looks like a bear flag to me. And bear flags always have a tendency to break down. So I'll give a support at 274.61 for today. And I think there's more downsides for Apple than upside. Microsoft is down 0.47% in pre-market trade. We have this diagonal line of support, which is at 479.11, but pre-market price action already shows us at 476.58, and yesterday we closed at 478.56, both of which are below this diagonal line of support. So I'm going to mark this diagonal line of support as a resistance, and today if we close below 475.34, we'd be confirming this resistance. I would say that support today is at 472.93. Let's look at Tesla, which is down 0.69%. I'm never sure about Tesla. I think my perma-bear bias continues to affect me, so I'm not going to make any comment on Tesla. I would like you guys to give me some feedback on Tesla. Do you think it's going down, or do you think it's going to stay up? I'm going to draw a line of resistance out here connecting 2 points, and I would say that the resistance for today is going to be 464.23, and support for today I think is going to be at 437.46. Oracle is down 0.13% in pre-market trades. and it's fallen below the support of 196.41. So I'm going to mark 196.41 as a resistance. And we also have resistance today from 204.93, which is the diagonal line of resistance. So twin resistance, a huge gap down open for Oracle. So things are not looking that great for Oracle. And remember, Larry Ellison's son, David Ellison, is in the fray to acquire Warner's. And there's a lot of talk with Trump, and Trump wants CNN also to be bought out. CNN was not in the original deal. And if CNN is bought out, then Trump would be very happy. Right now, CBS is also with the Paramount Group. And if CNN also goes in there, then Trump can have the whole media in his favor along with Fox News. So that should give a pause for Rupert Murdoch, because then Fox News will not be the only one, which is the state media, as Stephen Colbert calls it. So it's all very murky. We were thinking of US as free market rules and regulations and law of order nation, and that's why US became the capital market for the whole world. So at this point of time, with all the things that are happening out here and looking at what's happening with Oracle, with Tesla, remember, Elon Musk is also a political creature and he could come in at any point of time. And and Oracle, Paramount, all the news media, everything, there's a big churn happening. And also, if you look at the social media scene, there are a lot of independent media channels which are taking over and are much bigger than all these news media like CNN, CBS, and all that stuff, and Fox News. So there's a churn happening out there. And at the same time, Google has not succeeded in controlling deep fakes in YouTube. Yesterday, one of the big channels, which is Lincoln Project, Rick Wilson came out and spoke about exactly the same thing I spoke about in my video, where I was lamenting that established channels are getting fake players from outside of United States. They are creating AI-generated videos which use the likeness of established channels to churn out content, and they are starting to get a lot of subscribers and a lot of views. So the general population on the YouTube media is not able to discern between who is fake and who is real. So Rick Wilson is losing a lot of revenue, and he has got his lawyers on the case, and he's saying that Google is not fast enough to respond to this, and he's requested his subscribers to help him. What it means for a young content creator like myself is to reduce my involvement in US in YouTube, and to be very careful about investing more energies in developing the channel and stay with established subscribers, be low key, because if I become a little bit more recognizable, right now I'm a very small channel, nobody cares about me. Once the big channels are already cannibalized, then they will come for the smaller ones. So the incentive for young content creators to come up with original content is much minimized, because what also happens is viewers like those who are looking for Rick Wilson content, Robert Reich content, Neil deGrasse Tyson content, they are getting a whole lot of content which those original creators would not have created. It's the same demand and supply. If Rick Wilson was creating 6 videos a week, Robert Reich was creating maybe 4 videos a week, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was creating 2 videos a week. Now, there is hundreds of videos being churned out in their likeness. So it's diluting the entire content pool. So I would expect that to affect Google. So Google has to do something quickly, because a lot of revenue for Google is also coming from YouTube, which was taking content away from these big media conglomerates like CNN, CBS, NBC, and so much so that they all started having YouTube channels and they started having a big presence in YouTube. Now, with these kind of fake actors coming in and doing the likeness business, what is to stop them from doing a likeness of Rachel Maddow and Stephanie Rule and others? And also, for that matter, I think one of the first casualties is going to be Don Lemon as well, because he's also got a presence on YouTube. So watch that space. It could also take down Google, like it's taking down other areas. Now let's look at AMD. AMD is down 1.21% in pre-market takes. We have a reverse cup and handle pattern that I was talking about. And if you also look closely, you could see a potential reverse head and shoulder. Of course, I don't give much credence to this head and shoulder because the top of the second shoulder is very close to the head. That should not happen, even though it's below the head. I won't put much stock there. But what I put much stock to is the fact that we have got this out here. So this is a cup, reverse cup, and we are seeing the handle coming up. So I'm not going to give up on this yet because we have a support at 220.22. We had confirmed above that. That's what made me think twice. But today we have broken down below that. So if we confirm below 220.43, I think our cup and reverse cup and handle pattern or inverse cup and handle pattern will be back again, and then we can project some targets. Pre-market we are at 218.60 with AMD. SMCI is down 1.32%, and we have a support at 34.11. And if we bounce off on this support, that will be a positive. But if we break down, that would become a problem. Right now, it's a confirmed support that we are looking at, so we should bounce back on top of that. And then in that case, our resistance is likely to be yesterday's open, which is 35.05. Now, I forgot to do Microsoft, so let me just quickly go back to Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.45% in pre-market trade. This diagonal line of resistance today is going to give resistance at 478.57, and it's going to give support at 473.33. Right now, we are at 476.40. Let me go to SMC, so Broadcom. Broadcom is down 1.02% in pre-market trades. I would like to see a few more candles come here. There's a gap down which needs to be filled up, which will definitely act as a magnet. But market sentiment, MACD, momentum, everything is looking pretty healthy, and RSI is also very far away. So let us see what happens with Broadcom. Of course, the price to earnings ratios are humongous, so I wouldn't be surprised if we test our support at 386.85, but I'm not calling that yet. Palantir is down 1.32% in pre-market trades. Resistance at 189.45 is still functional, and I think we are going to get some support out here somewhere around 184.84. If we break down below that, then I think our next support is likely to be at 181.02. SMH is down 0.90%. It will definitely get support at 363.35 and resistance at 374.50. Right now we are at 370.75. Tempus AI is down 0.53%. We have this cup and handle. I have not given up on the handle yet. We'll watch it further. And Hot Dog is saying Tesla definitely takes another dip after next earnings. Thanks for the pointer, Hot Dog. But right now, my concern is what do I do with my TSLQ? Do I book the losses right now before the end of the year, or do I wait until last trading day of December? I'm contemplating on that. So with that said, let's go and have a look at Genomics. Prime is down 0.23% in pre-market trades. Support is available at 3.86. Intelia is down 0.21 in pre-market trades. It will definitely get support at 9.11. Right now it's at 9.35. Caribou Biosciences is flat in pre-market trade. Very strong support yesterday, as I said, at 1.84. It worked up and we got pushed up. So today the support is not as strong as it was yesterday, but it's at 1.85. Right now we're at 1.90 in pre-market. And let us see what happens. We are exactly at the resistance level for today. So I'm very concerned about Caribou Biosciences. Beam Therapeutics is up 0.33%. We have a cup and handle pattern. This could be a bull flag. We'll wait and watch what happens. We already have a target. That's going to be 30.68 at the very least and 30.96 at the very best. Altimmune is up 1.66%. I'm happy about the fact that it's up. It's gone back above the diagonal line of support at 5.49. We are at 5.52. If this support survives, I would be really happy about it. The resistance line has not been confirmed, so this support can still allow us to bounce back. I'm looking forward to that. I think Altimmune is doing very well, in my opinion. It's moving further and further away from the original line of support. So I can draw a new line of support out here and connect the bottoms. And I'll mark this green. And I would say for today, I think the horizontal line of support is the ultimate support at 5.32. The initial support is at 5.50. Let's go to Editas. Editas is up 0.77% in pre-market trades. And Editas is looking good. I don't know what's happening out there. No new news out there. But market sentiment is bearish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is just at average. This could be pure sentiment play, or maybe some positive data is likely to come up and we don't know about it. If any of you know anything, please let me know. But I don't see anything bullish out here to talk about. We had a bull flag and we have come out here. Let me just mark the bull flag and see if we still have room on the bull flag to move up. We have a target of 2.86. We are still not there. I would like to see some patterns develop out here and move towards that. Next, let's look at Illumina. Illumina is up 0.07% in pre-market trades. We already have a target of 152.26. Let us see what happens out there. There is still room on the RSI, so a little bit more upwards is possible. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 0.26% in pre-market trades. We still have a support, which is at 56.40. And the reverse head and shoulder target is at 60.53. So this looks like a bull flag to me. If I take a bull flag pole from here, which is at 51.44, and run it all the way up to 58.24, that will be a flag pole. So this is a bullish pennant or a bull flag in the formation with very strong support from 56.90. So therefore, I would like to see a breakout. That has not yet happened. We are seeing a mending of the market sentiment. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is also above average. So things are looking pretty decent for CRISPR. I wouldn't worry about this negative 0.26. Let us see what happens this morning. As long as we don't break down below 56.31, I'm very hopeful. Allogene is down 0.68% in pre-market trades. We have met and exceeded our target of 1.50. So right now I'm waiting for a bull flag to break out. This is a flagpole and this is a bull flag out here. Let me draw this out. This is the support that I'm seeing, and then this is the resistance that we have. I'm going to mark that red. So let us see what happens with this. One way of looking at it would be that in the past we had this as a bullish pennant, and then we broke out and we came back down. This is a topping tail pattern, which is a forcible pushing down by sellers. So this is a very bearish candle. After that, we have created a new candle. So if we assume this to be a breakout of the bullish pennant, then I think I would like to put a target of 1.66 for Allogene. Let us watch that. I'm putting it there. I feel confident putting it there. Let us see what happens for Allogene. I think it's got to go up, but this morning it's gone down. It's down by 0.68%, which is around 1 cent. So it's still within this green candle from yesterday. Grail is down 0.45% in pre-market trade. It will still get support at 90.48. And we have PACB, which is down 0.84% in pre-market trades. And I don't know what's happening is PACB. I'm starting to get a little bit of concern out here. It's still looking like a bullish pennant, but No, I'm concerned. I would like to see some upward movement, and the negative movement this morning gives me pause. Probably things are starting to turn around for PACB. ARCG is down 0.13%. I'm still confident of this cup and handle. The case is not yet gone. We have resistance at 31.15. Right now we are at 31.13. We have not yet confirmed this resistance. So if we close below 30.79, we would confirm this resistance. I'm waiting for what happens today. I'd like to see a few more candles. Vertex is flat in pre-market trades. It has still got support on this diagonal line of support, and today's support is at 434.86, and before that I think we'll get support at 438.84. Right now we are at 444.62. Next, let us look at Ginkgo Bioworks, which is down 0.31%. Cup and handle still rules, and we have support at 9.37. Let us see what happens out here. And let's look at Precision. Precision is flat in pre-market trades. We have resistance at 3.65. Eli Lilly is up 1.04%, and I'm going to pull this regression channel forward, and we'll have support. Yesterday we got a support at 975.03. Today also we are going to get a support at 975.03, and I believe that support is arresting us, and we are staying above this regression channel. Could be a trend reversal coming up here, so let's watch out for that. And then we have Ultragenics, which is up 0.97% in pre-market trades. I'm very iffy about Ultragenics, but I'm happy that it's still above this diagonal line of support. So that's where I would leave it. Then I'm going to go and have a look at Team for one of our subscribers who constantly asks about Team. So let me go and see where we have Team. Where is Team? Team is out here. So Team is down 0.09%, because I'm also curious about what happens to Team. There is this double bottom, and we are continuing to move up. I'm not seeing any patterns out here, and we have not taken out this bearish candle, which has a very long wick on the top, which means that buyers wanted to buy, but there was a whole lot of sellers out here. And in a way, I'm happy that we have gone above where that bearish candle ended at 159.34, and we have confirmed above that. So I'm looking for us to wipe out this candle at 164.44. Incidentally, that's around where the previous topping tail also happened. So if we break out above that, then if we come down, I would start looking at a cup and handle or something like that. But right now, I'm still waiting for some clues. And overall, there is a lot of bullishness. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. So it's all looking great out there. So I think I would be following this team on a regular basis to see what happens out there. It will be a good learning point for us. I'm giving bearish emphasis to the topping tails, and I'm giving positive emphasis to a whole lot of factors which are positive: market sentiment, MACD, momentum, RSI, and also the bullish movement upwards. So there you have it, friends. That takes me to the currencies. And if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still down 2.17% in pre-market trades, and we still have a resistance at 91,686.05, and our resistance is going to continue to be 87,605. So that's our resistance, that's our support. Market sentiment is bullish, MACD is bullish, but momentum is still below average. So that's a negative. And we also have a topping tail out here from 10th of December, where the market has pushed it down. A lot of sellers came out and sold. So we are not yet out of woods in the crypto. This means that MSTR, that strategy, is going to be under a lot of pressure. Just out of curiosity, let me add MSTR and see what it is doing. So we have MSTR here, and as you can see, this is a bear flag. The bear flag comes all the way from there to here. Okay, so now let us draw the flag. This should be red. So definitely there's a high probability for this to break out on the downside. So MSTR looks very dangerous to me at this point of time, because if it broke out on the downside, let us say it takes a long time to break out on the downside. Let me just copy this and where did I paste it? Okay, I'll just clone this. Cloning is better. I'll pull it out. Let us say we break down somewhere around 30th of December, end of the year. So then it will put us a target of 109.54. That would be a drop of 43%. So, so that would be very dangerous. So those are scary prospects out there. So let us see what happens, because it's all tied up with the fortunes for Bitcoin. And remember, people who have money in this company also are going to sell and take out the money. And people who have money on Bitcoin and who are, you know, in the retiring stage and all that, they're also going to take money out, because the more risky it gets, the more they're motivated to take out the money. So all of that money is going to get out of these two factors and most of cryptos. So it's all looking iffy. And in this context, you know, if we go and have a look at gold, gold, I think, should definitely go up, because that should attract all that money. And reducing rates means alternative cost or opportunity cost of investing in gold goes down. And the fact that a lot of more money is going to be pumped into the economy, not only here but also in Japan, is going to mean that there's more money chasing less gold. So price of gold has got to go up. That's what my logic screams. Guys, give me a feedback, because I don't see the markets going the way I think it is going. I'm going crazy looking at my short position, and all my predictions are not coming out right. So your feedback is most welcome. And with that, I would like to end the video for today, and I'll catch up with you guys again later on. I have a short video out which talks about my portfolio status and etc. You already seen this here, something like that similar out there. I'll catch up with you again. Bye for now. Hot dog says, I think gold goes sideways. Yeah. Do you have any logic for that, hot dog? How are you thinking? Because I'm looking at validating my logic and correcting my logic. If you disagree with my logic, please feel free to let me know. I'm in a learning mode out here. I'm a retail investor. I don't claim to be a financial guru. So any feedback is always welcome. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, hot dog. On the Substack. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. I'd like to hear your point of view and see if my strategy needs some correction. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thanks for joining, hot dog. Thanks for joining in. For anyone else who is online, take care. Bye for now.